There we go. All right.
There's a vacancy in our newsreel department.
Okay, this video is called The Newsbenders, and it was made in 1968, I believe, and it was on the BBC. Quite an interesting little video, so let's have a watch. Hopefully everything is working.
To help plan the news for 1973.
Come again?
Plan the news for 1973.
I just want to make sure the sunlight's real.
I always tell people, news is the most highly developed form of fiction. The most difficult. Come on. I just want to show you something.
News is also north, south, east, and west. An anagram for that, which if you take into account spell casting, it's pretty important, apparently.
There's no obligation to buy. Really. News requires imagination. News requires responsibility. We think you're well qualified. Please.
AA security, sprinkler systems and other services do not operate beyond this point.
So just so we get it, the premise of this is the bald head guy is offering the bearded fellow a job in a very high level news organization. So let's continue. It's self-explanatory, as it's called, the news benders. But I do have to stop it and make my little bit of commentary every couple of minutes. Secret elevator time.
1973. We've only roughed out the news for 1973. Nothing's been given the go-ahead yet, but this kind of thing we have in mind.
Predictive programming here, guys. This is why The Simpsons predicts everything. Look at this.
Today, April 14th, 1973. First historic pictures by Radstar of the combined U.S.-Russian landing on the moon. Shown here are Majors Webb and Mikhailovich taking their first steps into the unknown, firing their retro rockets to land their spacecraft on the dust-covered surface. A comforting note for us stay-at-homes. Both the Pentagon and the Kremlin have announced that the moon has no strategic value.
A comforting note for us to stay at home. I can't show you any film on this next model. We haven't photographed it yet. But this is the way it will sound.
June the 22nd, 1973. The State Department releases film of the ultimate weapon, codenamed Icarus. This satellite is equipped with a solid reactor. In layman's terms, it can freeze air solid, stopping all missiles, killing all forms of life. Icarus orbits at the same speed as the Earth, can hang in position over every major city that threatens the peace-loving nations.
So have you ever noticed a lot of the so-called truths are hidden in plain sight? This is a 1968 television show, talking about how the news is made up. Now, where would they ever get an idea such as that? That's just silly. That's preposterous. Smith Munt Act. That's just preposterous.
Rather proud of this one. Come on. Please, sit down, Mr. Lover.
September 5th, 1973. The new phase in global warfare. War by example. At 4:32 our time, China took out the remote Indian border village of Bangalore, unprotected by the Icarus network. After the first Megaton H-bombs had fallen, the 9-way hotline finally...
Switch it off.
But
This is going to happen in 1973. You're going to make this happen.
No. We are going to make models much cheaper. Then we photograph the models.
Fake newsreels.
That's fake news. For the past 10 years, people have been looking.
Fake newsreels, right? So if you think about that, in pretty much, I would guess almost every big incident is somehow has the sticky little hands of some 3-letter agency behind it. And I'm talking about the pew pew school things. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a little too much information for people, but I don't know. Let's continue.
About fake newsreels and listening to our fake commentary.
And they accept it for the truth.
Listen to this.
And you can do it.
Right?
Stop 100 people in the street. How many of them have actually seen a missile or a satellite? They're just told they exist and they believe it.
Yes, you get in
Exactly.
there. I knew you would.
Well, now the moon rocket and the satellite, that you can get away with. That's too remote for people to grasp. It's too far away. But this... I mean, you invented this village on the Indo-Chinese border. Well, somebody could check out.
Very mountainous territory up there. There'll be no survivors in 1973. No rescue work. Radiation scare.
Yes,
Chernobyl.
you can do it. This could be the news for 1973.
Not necessarily exactly like this. We only plan in detail 1 year ahead.
Oh, you only plan 1 year ahead.
Hey, tell me, what is the news item that's bothered you the most in the past year, 1967?
Well, it has to be the new American intercontinental ballistic missile, the Boy Wonder, doesn't it?
Just the one I asked them to set up for you. The new ICBM, codename Boy Wonder. With a much talked about.
Yeah, look into nuclear warheads, and man, everything has a rabbit hole. I'm not saying what I believe or not. I'm just presenting you with different ways to look at things. That's all. Just different information. You believe whatever you want to believe.
Go ahead. I haven't any special effects up here,
Oh.
but perhaps with the proper sound. Last note. And Robert Larkin, television director, high IQ, 35 years old, is scared. Scared by nothing. It doesn't work. It's a scientific impossibility. The same goes for the much talked about Mercury warhead. Perspex.
And if you think about it, the way they would do it is maybe compartmentalization, you know? Maybe you spread out your little workers into little departments, and each department works on a task. each department doesn't know what the other department is doing. I don't know, maybe NASA is run like that. Who knows? You never know.
Well, if this rocket doesn't work, then the others?
They have a fireworks party at Cape Kennedy almost every other day. Oh. You didn't really believe there were all these things whizzing about up there, did you? Sputniks and rockets. Astronauts crossing their legs for 8 days.
How long has this been going on?
Since Hiroshima.
And the H-bomb, that doesn't work either?
Right. Dirty.
Dirty.
Very,
It's
very
dirty.
What was your first reaction?
Relief.
Relief. Oh, yes. Yes, it has to be.
It has to be. This is so like 1960s too, right? Like, look at the secretary just in her little 1960s go-go suit.
Only 12 people are allowed beyond this point. Most of them work in the photographic department, taking phony newsreel pictures of our models and processing film and so on. Sit down, please. Ah, pretty pictures from our stills department. The boy wonder.
Pretty pictures from our stills department.
Do you really think that missiles and satellites are my line of country?
No, not at all. I've only shown you the hard news. There are other things, much softer things we thought might interest you.
Well?
1973, we thought it might be time for an anti-teenage movement. The long-awaited return to maturity. Sheriff.
An
Perhaps
anti-teenage
even a
movement.
religious revival.
No, I
So right there, he's telling you about, you know, in not so many words, about the whole hippie movement, right? This is 1968. So he's going 1973. We might have an anti-teenager movement. I don't know. Just spitballing here. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Let's continue.
So you want me to arrange the grand opening of Ruislip Cathedral, 1st of October, 1973? Mark the date down in my 10-year diary.
We are very serious about you. There are things about you we like very much. Qualities you have to offer. Qualities that we perhaps don't possess at the moment.
That's great.
Our file on you. I have to return to July the 25th, 1966, the day you broke it off with this girl, Sheila. You really did reveal...
This is creepy too, because, you know, just watch.
rather a lot of yourself that day. But of course, if you really mind...
Help yourself.
You said to her, it won't work, Sheila, and she said something, and then you said...
This is a heartbeat.
You remember I went away with Rachel and the kids to the seaside? It was midweek and this huge stretch of sand was empty. Just a circle of footprints around 3 sandcastles and tracks out to sea. The whole damn day of my family marked out in front of me. Rachel kept calling the kids to get dressed. She picked up buckets and spades, corny bloody things like that. I was up at the car. I looked at those footprints, and I knew those people were slipping away. There were things I could tell them.
We rather like that bit about footprints. You see, in this job, some of us have got rather a long way away from the idea of footprints in the sand.
Those footprints were made by my children. Now you want me to scare the hell out of them with every bomb from A to H inclusive. Well, why? I mean, when did it all start?
1945. You may remember the Americans let off their 2 atomic bombs. Well, they didn't want other people doing the same thing. I mean, you do see that then.
Oh, I don't know.
Scare the people off. The Americans put it up, and the atomic bomb was halfway along the line to something much bigger, the hydrogen bomb. It didn't work. They spent 5 years in negative research.
Well, what about the Russians? They're supposed to have quite a pile of these things.
We were surprised when they started their tests. Then we got a few feelers from their Secret Service. Nowadays, we work very closely together. Oh, all these stories about spies going off to Russia. Mr. Philby, remember? Just good copy for the Sunday papers.
Good copy. Well, the Chinese. I mean, they've just announced their bomb.
Yeah, we played along with it. We recorded their phony explosion. We're rather hoping the Chinese will come along, complete the pattern, you know.
In Vietnam, hundreds of people are being killed every week. Well, you can't do that with your models.
No. And you can't cure people of bad habits in 2 generations. They like to carry rifles. They like to put lines on maps. And we let them because we control the situation. There's no danger of world war. Just a simple choice for everybody. Capitalism or communism. Strawberry or vanilla. It all adds up to the same thing now we've got rid of the big bangers.
You
Well,
see
how
that?
can you be sure that Johnson, Kosygin aren't working on other things? Poison gases, bacteria.
Pathetic man of your intelligence. You don't want to destroy the world, neither do I. What makes you think that presidents are different?
Well, they've made some pretty good stabs at it in the past.
There wasn't the right sort of control then. Nowadays we know better. Politicians are easy to control. The grosser mentality boys who like to be photographed getting in and out of Daimlers and Whitehall. They come right at the bottom of our organization. A few rungs up the ladder, there are the people in the top secret factories. Just those in a position to know they're making weapons that don't really work.
Well, there must come a time when somebody wants to use one of those weapons. I mean, somebody is standing there with a finger on the button.
Well, that's the beauty of it. Nobody presses the button. We control all the crises. We build them up and we shut them down.
We. Again.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Near the top of the hierarchy, there are the economists, top civil servants, top brass in the military. Those men who are supposed to view the nuclear tests and so on. And above them, CWNS.
Right at the top. Classified World News Service. Just who the hell are you?
It's obvious, isn't it? Just a very few of the top people in communications in every major country in the world.
Oh, you mean you run all these magazines?
No, of course not. We just get them to take some of our coffee every week. Television is much more important to us. All happens so quickly.
You see?
Tell, lie, vision. The program, you know, you channel the program to the channel to tell the lie of the vision. It's pretty amazing, man. They're kind of saying it all out, and this is their karma retribution. This is why they seem to get away with this. Their predictive programming. They're telling you right here in this show exactly how they go about doing the predictive programming. So, for instance, that's why The Simpsons will be able to show Donald Trump coming down the escalator, because that was staged. So Donald Trump coming down the escalator was thought up, you know, that scene in whatever news we saw was planned however many months or years ahead of the time. That's why The Simpsons are privy to that information. And this is telling you right here. So it's definitely revelation of the method. This is one of the best gems in this kind of research. So I hope you appreciate this. Thanks to the wyldawg channel, because I'm stealing it from him. So shout out to this guy. Go check him out. He's got amazing content. He's pretty cool. So
You can put out what pictures you like on television. Doesn't anybody try to stop you?
No, nobody wants to. 99.386% of the population wouldn't believe this conversation. And the rest are working for us. And they're the top minds, the really responsible people. They know they're guaranteeing the lives of their grandchildren the only foolproof way.
Scaring the hell out of their grandchildren.
basically, this guy is telling you about Tavistock. That's who he's talking about, really. If you get it, if you really want to break it down, 2 or 3 videos ahead of the time, I showed you guys a video about Tavistock Institute for Human Relations. Well, this is a fictional expose of Tavistock Institute for Human Relations.
Well, I won't buy it.
You must admit there has to be some kind of control in this world of ours. Look at this. And remember that 1/4 of the world is starving. There are the full bellies and the empty bellies. Some of the empty bellies carry rifles. Well, we full bellies are getting a bit flabby. We're not very good with rifles anymore, so we've devised 2 ways to keep the empty bellies under control. One of them is this fictitious hydrogen bomb we've talked about. The other one is money. Enough money to fill some of the empty bellies and put a hopeful smile on the faces of the others. A great wall of money all around Britain. And it's no secret that the British economy is in trouble at the moment. So we have to put that right, too, to stay alive. We have to control the people in this country. Scare an ostrich, buries its head in the sand. You scare a hedgehog, it rolls itself up into a ball. When a woman's frightened, she goes out and buys herself a hat.
You mean you scare us so that we'll buy more, so that money moves quicker, production moves up?
We don't say scare when we talk about human beings. We say threaten them emotionally. And there are all sorts of ways of doing, not just the big ones like the hydrogen bomb. Overcrowd them a little with bad planning. Sell them too many motor cars. Anything to keep them a little bit removed from reality.
Distraction, right? The bread and circus, as they always talk about. This is, yeah, guys, I'm bringing you some golden stuff here. This is Conspiracy 101, classic stuff here. So, no, you're very lucky.
Nowadays, people don't work for money. They work for the idea of money. They don't even love for love. They love for the idea of love.
Ain't that the truth?
They only hate for the idea of hate. It took us 5 years to find a non-addictive drug. One we could pay off against the hard drugs. LSD.
You marketed that?
Oh, yes, of course. And for a very good reason. Some of these protest movements were getting a little bit too close to the mark. LSD gave them nice little hallucinations. Made them talk like 3-year-olds. Throw flowers at policemen. How we talk terms.
That's the truth, though. The whole British invasion was just that, the British invasion. And the Beatles did more damage than any platoon of soldiers ever could. Same with the Doors. The Doors were pretty much a military band as well. Research Mike Williams from the Sage of Quay podcast, and David McGowan is another. He's an author you could look up, and he talks about Laurel Canyon. And so this is kind of before the hip hop and before the companies invested into the prison system, because that's what's going on now. Is through hip hop in the 90s, the heads of the corporations got together and all invested in private prisons, and then basically forced the artists to promote a certain kind of behavior and a certain frequency of music. So it gets pretty deep, man. And yeah, we'll continue.
You're not still going to ask me to work for you?
I'm afraid I've had to put all this rather bluntly. You see, there wasn't really very much time. It must be rather a shock. Well, I mean, most people realize that the world is controlled from about 6 big cities. But it must be rather shocking to learn that a 1/6 of the world is controlled from this building.
You mean you?
Oh, no. I only rate an office on the 7th floor. There are 2 other offices above this one.
And he wants them.
And a giant computer system.
Yeah.
Link number...
You see that? Giant computer system. Interesting there. This is in 1968. AI, maybe? You know, the binary code was discovered, hundreds of years ago. They've known how to communicate in the binary code. So, well, hello there. You guys are gonna have to catch the replay. This is an amazing little snippet of conspiracy truth. So, but thank you for popping in. We're almost done it here. So, let's continue.
In world control.
A computer?
And what's so remarkable about that? It's just a machine that can store a vast amount of information.
A machine that knows too bloody much.
Now you're being hysterical about it. Computer's very simple. You feed data into it. Anything from the Wall Street closing prices to the North Atlantic weather.
And you get decisions. That machine's taken you over.
It's just a machine. Extra hands for the people who know how to control it.
Well, this one above us, it's square in a box.
I suppose you could call it square in a sort of a box.
You know why I go away weekends?
Yeah.
To get away from people in boxes. They live in boxes.
Thanks.
They get their thoughts, their problems, and their answers out of boxes.
Yeah, as you know, it's always going to be mumbled up on my shit until it isn't. So it is what it is. But yeah, we'll continue. Thanks, Ken.
And I like to get away at weekends because they're not people anymore. Now, you know all about me, my cottage in Hampshire. But did you know that there's a line of trees that goes right up past the house, and the noise they make is like the sea? Did you know that I find it difficult to sleep in the country? And I like to go and stand in the garden before dawn, and I feel good because I know that my wife and my children are asleep inside. And I like to go out and walk past the wet hedgerows until I can see pasture land and the smoke from the cottages in the
This
village.
may be all very well for one of your grassroots programs, but I'm afraid time is running out. I ought to tell
Are you in or are you out? If he makes the wrong decision, gee, I wonder what happens, right?
you, we pay a great deal of money. We can afford to. We save such a lot on things like the national defense budget, so on. We would start you off at £250,000 a year.
Oh.
Rising to £1 million when you make the Ministry of Morality, which I know you will.
Will you let me out of here?
One little point. I should have told you about these surgical transmitters.
Yeah, it's crazy. I did do a live earlier about the buildings as well, so that was I'm glad it happened. My battery was going down when I was going to do that, and then the security guard kept trying to kick me off of reading the sign, and then his bosses came by, like the real estate guys, and they were actually nice. So, and I caught it all. So it's kind of interesting. It's a look at the CN Railway building, definitely built for giants, like 100%. Oh, thanks. Jelly sandwich.
There's enough of this stuff inside you at this moment to kill 6 people.
Ooh.
There's a button we can press.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the dramatic. Our boys call these things the oral contraceptive. Keeps them from talking too much.
What a psychopath.
So there must be one of those transmitters inside you. Who presses the button?
The computer.
Extra hands. All this stuff about the computer being extra hands for the men who know how to control it.
Extra
That
hands.
machine controls you.
The machine controls you.
You start on Monday.
Exactly. Oh, I better stop it. Don't get I'll get a copyright. So yeah, this was done by wyldawg. His name is let's see. I can't find it. Anyways, yeah, the guy's got some. Let's see, maybe can I do it? I don't know. Anyways, it's I'll let's see. I gotta try and find it. I gotta give this guy credit because he's pretty cool.
There is a photograph in the archives of the Library of
that's
Congress
not
that
it.
has no explanation. It was taken sometime between 1860 and 1870. The subject is a man seated in a studio, dressed in the formal clothes of his era.
I'm not gonna get you guys hooked on that one, so I'm kind of done. But thanks for coming in, and yeah, I guess you're gonna have to replay it. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's it for tonight. I'm easing my way back into it. Thanks again. I hope it worked tonight. I really do. Okay, how do I do this now? On this way. X. Oh, there we go. And boom. Oh, this thing.